What is your opinion about the American people that go down to Colombia and they say that the food is bad, the Colombian food is flavorless?
You're crazy as hell.
We have a more diverse Colombian food as a whole is pretty bland. I mean, there are some dishes that are pretty eclectic.
Parce, no sea tan aletoso, bro. No venga con esa vaina. Don't say that. Those are fighting words, bro. Those are fighting words.
For a Colombian, if you're using more than 2 spices, it's like you're Wolfgang Puck.
One word. Triguizar. Triguizar. Cumin, yellow corn flour, rice flour, black pepper, dehydrated garlic, anato, also known as achote, and turmeric. Meet Colombian chef and restaurant owner Leonora Espinosa, acclaimed as the world's best female chef in 2022, and she is Colombian, from the coast. Those coastal women are something serious. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. The world's 50 best restaurants website has classified 2 Colombian restaurants on their list for 2023, with El Chato being headed by Alvaro Clavijo. Coming up in the 43rd spot is the restaurant Leo in Bogota, headed by none other than Chef Espinosa. And unlike Clavijo, she never went to culinary school, she never went to France, and she actually just studied and learned in Colombia.
There are not a lot of varieties.
Yeah.
Once you experience the whole of the Colombian menu, it basically stays there.
Disfruta de momentos memorables en Valle Catalina. Es un nuevo restaurante en Ciudad Jardín que fusionan lo mejor del Caribe y el Pacífico para darnos una propuesta de alta cocina. Sus espacios son divinos y súper acogedores. Es increíble, los meseros son tus guías gastronómicos y te ayudan a escoger el plato perfecto para tu gusto. Usamos esta increíble experiencia con un cheesecake bayuno y un digestivo post-café.
So guys, if you're ever down in South Florida, I would suggest go to these 2 places. It's Don Matias, D-O-N, Matias, M-T-H-I-S. And I know the owner, I know the cook. He is a very good friend of mine, and he makes really good food. I would like to let you guys know that in the eastern side of the United States, I would say in New Jersey, in New York, Florida, specifically Orlando, the areas of West Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade is chock full of Colombians. That's basically where most of the Colombians live. You also have some in Texas in certain areas.
Yeah.
There's no variation.
You see, my friends, what you see behind me is a Colombo Venezuelan food. This is called carne llanera, the meat of the flatlands. Between Colombia and Venezuela, the geography is very flat. So there's these people who live in the area called llaneros. And since Colombia used to be one country with Venezuela, los llaneros, the people of the flatlands, are the same culture on both sides. They like to ride horses. They're cowboys. They like to take care of cattle and beef and everything else and all those sorts of things. And when they eat their meat, they put it on a big stick or a big roaring fire. It is absolutely delicious if you're specifically a meat eater. What you're seeing here is a type of dance called joropo llanero, which is the type of dance between the flatlands between Colombia and Venezuela. The 2 people who are dancing here, they're both actually Colombian, but the restaurant is actually Colombo Venezuelan. The owner, the male owner, he is Venezuelan himself, and his wife is Colombian. If you're ever in South Florida, look them up, and you can go to this link right here. Hey everyone, and thank you for tuning in. This is Ray Condor speaking. Also, you can call me Ray Condor, as people like to anglicize it, but Ray Condor is the name of my channel. This is a channel that I've created for people who want to travel to Colombia, who want to learn our cultures, our traditions, and our way of life, and also to give you tips and tricks to have a better experience when visiting the country. This following is a video response to the YouTubers who like to travel to my country, and I admire and I respect the fact there are people who are trying to show my country to the world, and I love that. And I would say some of the best 3 that I like, I would say Where's Wes, Chinese guy, he came in from, I believe, California. Life with David is my absolute favorite one. AK Joel, that's another good one. Guys, don't get me wrong, I love the fact that you're showing my country to the world, but I believe the fact that since you're not locals, sometimes you miss the mark, and I want to make a gentle correction so that way for you and for future travelers who come to my country get the best experience as possible. The specific video is mostly geared towards AK Joel, who created I believe it was an episode talking about why expats leave Medellin, but this is also geared towards Where's West and also to Life with David. We talked about Colombian food, and the remark is, Colombian food is not good, it's flavorless. I have wholeheartedly disagree, and I'm going to show you why.
Huge
huge one. Why people come here and be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I cannot live like this anymore.
Yeah, food has gotten better in Medellin over the last 13 years, particularly, in the touristy areas, because you have a more diverse amount of restaurants. Colombian food as a whole is pretty bland. I mean, there are some dishes that are pretty eclectic, but for a Colombian, if you're using more than 2 spices, it's like you're Wolfgang Puck. There are not a lot of varieties.
Yeah.
Once you experience the whole of the Colombian menu, it basically stays there.
Yeah.
There's no variation. This is not Mexico. A lot of people think that, because they speak Spanish, everyone in the world that speaks Spanish eats like a Mexican.
No way.
But no, only Mexicans eat like Mexicans.
Yeah.
Colombians.
Now, I've been to Mexico a few times, and while I applaud A.K. Joel and his friend doing the best to show that Colombia is not Mexico, I would like to put this into perspective. I have seen other videos of A.K. Joel and other YouTubers explaining that Colombia is nothing like Mexico because Mexico supposedly has more variation than we do. But then they forget to show the big elephant in the room, which dictates our Colombian cuisine and our different variances, which is a topic that I will cover later on. My coworker's from Michoacan, and she made me lentil soup, and guess what? It was literally pretty much the same, how we eat at home, except it had maybe 2 or 3 different ingredients. I would say it was about 96% of what we usually eat, and instead of having an arepa, she just gave me a tortilla. Here's a video clip of when I went to Cancun, Mexico. What you see right here is my girlfriend eating some type of seafood ceviche. And in this picture here, this is a ceviche cocktail with sea urchin. I had octopus, I had sea snail, a couple of disgusting things that I would never eat. But my girlfriend is from the northern coast, and when I asked her, has she eaten anything different? She told me it was pretty much the same.
Eat very differently. And on top of that, there are no other types of food. For example, you're not going to get authentic Chinese food, authentic Thai food. Why? Because who the fuck is immigrating to Colombia from a better life from a third world country?
No.
You don't go from a third world country to another up country to make a better life and build a little China, a little Saigon.
You do know that my cousins are 4th generation Chinese Colombian, right? We do have a small group of Chinese community in Colombia. Chinese Colombians are Colombian citizens of Chinese ancestry who immigrated and were born or have immigrated to Colombia. As of 2014, an estimate of 160,000 Chinese Colombians lived in Colombia. However, I have seen higher estimates stated to 180,000 and some low as 90,000. In fact, during editing and creating this video, Where's Wes, the Chinese American guy who actually moved to Colombia, actually went to Barranquilla and he changed his mind. Not only did he say the Colombian food is good, but he said that he has some of the best Chinese food, authentic Chinese food in Colombia. But don't take my word for it. Let's see what he says.
Another really amazing thing about Barranquilla is the food. I would say that the food scene here is so surprising, and I actually had the best Chinese food I've ever had here in Colombia in Barranquilla. There's a surprising number of Asian people here I've seen walking around, Asian people around my age, and also like older Asian couples. And
not only my cousin's 4th generation Chinese, but I have met 3rd generation Chinese, 2nd generation Chinese, and 1st generation Chinese when I was growing up in Colombia. I eat Chinese food just like you, but I would like to let you know that if you go anywhere here in the United States, they always have either Chinese American food and then they have real Chinese food for the people who actually speak the language. It's not everybody has access to that. My martial arts teacher is from Guangzhou province. I have eaten all types of Chinese. I've eaten Northern Chinese, I've eaten Chinese from Hunan, I've eaten Chinese Muslim food. So I find that a little bit maybe inaccurate in the things that you're saying. Here is one picture of Chinese Cartageneros from the northern coast. There's a study that says about 13% of Colombians are of Middle Eastern population. Another report of La República stated that 3.2 million of Colombians are Middle Eastern descent. We have a good amount of Armenian descent peoples who left the Armenian genocide. We have people who are Turkish. We have people who are Ashkenazim Jews. We have people who are Sephardic Jews and a little bit of Mizrahim Jews. I have met Jewish people in Colombia that lived there for multiple generations in Bogota. Italians also make up a good amount of immigrants that actually traveled to Colombia. In fact, the infamous pan de bono, according to oral legend, was created by an Italian man. So for you to say that immigrants will not travel from a third world country to another messed up country is a little bit misinformed. In fact, in the city of Palmira, right now, you can actually find Japanese people. There's actually a bakery in the town where my mother comes from. They're famous for their wedding cakes and for different types of birthday cakes.
A little Ethiopia. Yeah, like in LA, New York, you can't compare that.
Usually the best countries, US, Australia, UK, they have great food because all, for lack of a better word, poor people from other countries come there and bring their spices and stuff, right?
And this segment is one of my biggest gripes that I have. You cannot tell me that your food is original because Chinese food is from China. Japanese food is from Japan. Thai food is from Thailand. You cannot tell me that the food from the United States or Australia is better because you're naming me foods from other countries that are not indigenous or not originally from your country. I can show you a whole load of dishes from each specific region of Colombia. The dish that you see here is curry seafood fried rice in a banana leaf. This is from the city of Cartagena. As you can see, it has many different herbs and spices.
Delicias colombianas que todo el mundo debería probar, parte 2.
Este viaje de sabores empieza en Finlandia con la caspiroleta.
Damos un salto a Barranquilla para comer carimañola de queso y frosomal.
Llegamos a la eterna primavera a comer cazuela de frijoles.
Arrancamos por la vía Palomino a comer plátano asado con queso costeño.
Paramos en cada esquina a disfrutar de las frutas de nuestro país.
Nos vamos hacia la costa a disfrutar de un cóctel de camarones en sus diferentes preparaciones.
Llegamos a Cali y pedimos lulada, chontaduro y cholao.
Nos devolvemos para Palomino a comer arepa asada con bastante queso costeño y lecherita.
En Cartagena pruebe la posta.
En las carreteras del país disfrute de fresas con crema, arepas y tortas de chocolo.
Los paraderos son una chimba.
Arranque pa' Medellín y pruebe una milhoja bien cargada.
Vuélese pa' Santa Marta a comer arepa de huevo en la industrial.
En el mar de los 7 colores lo están esperando mesas ancestrales cargadas de mucho sabor.
Sí o sí, pruebe la empanada de cangrejo.
Váyase pa' Circase a comer solterona con lecherita y queso.
Y en Salento pida trucha con patacón crocante.
¿Cuál delicia colombiana deberíamos probar?
Here, no. It's more the rich people coming.
Yeah, expats.
The expats.
We don't call them immigrants, we call them expats.
Okay, but that's another story.
Yeah, that's for another video.
That's for another day.
And before we continue more into this video, I would invite you to please follow up on this video here where I showed in Spanish and English how to make sudado bayuno, sudado vallecaucano, which is sudado, which is a type of chicken boiled in its own juices from the Cauca Valley. You gotta understand that Colombia is not Medellin. Colombia is not Antioquia. Colombia is not Rololandia. You have Santanderianos. You have people from Ibagué. You have people from Tuluá. You have Vallecaucanos. I'm Vallecaucano. I'm from the Cauca Valley. You have people from Valledupar. You have Costeños. You have Pastusos. You have people from the Pacific Coast. People from Buenaventura. I believe in one huge misunderstanding and a generalization that a lot of foreigners make when they come to Colombia. They generalize everything. They put everything in the same pot. And one thing that you guys don't understand is, and don't take this the wrong way, is that in Colombia, you're a regionalist before you are a nationalist. Each region has its not only different accents, but they're different cuisines. Plus, you also have different styles of music and different styles of dances. Here you have salsa caleña, which is the type of salsa that is danced in the city of Cali. It is actually different than New York style salsa or Cuban style salsa. This is pretty much regional to the area of the Cauca Valley, and as the old saying, Cali es Cali y lo demás es Loma, which means Cali is Cali and the rest is just country. Now compare the regional difference in dance to the northern Caribbean coast. This is the city of Barranquilla. This is where champeta, where reggaeton, and where Afrobeats are king. Same thing for Cartagena and all of the northern coast. Champeta is a type of dance that comes from Africa, in Africa known as African soukous. And this particular dance group is called Afroquilla. They do have a workshop. Please follow their YouTube channel, which I will have in the link below. And now we have their the dance instructor showing off his skills. All right, everyone, so we get to our favorite part because I hear everybody saying, get to the food already. From the city of Cali, we have cholado, which is basically shaved ice with different types of fruits and also condensed milk. We have pan de bono, which is the infamous cheese bread, and lulada, which is a type of juice made out of lulo. We also have chuleta caleña, which is breaded pork chop, and you also have the peach palm, also known as chontaduro in the city of Cali. From the city of Palmira, we have my friend's restaurant. Here she is showing relleno, which is also known as morcilla. It's basically blood sausage and is covered in hogao sauce. Hogao is also known as sofrito. Internationally, sofrito is a combination of herbs and spices that is stir-fried. It is very popular in Latin American countries and also within the Mediterranean. You can find it in Italian cuisine and in Greek cuisine. Should anyone visit the city of Cali, the international airport is actually located between the city of Cali and Palmira. Please visit the adjacent city to my friend's restaurant, La Piñuela. It is located in the neighborhood of La Mercedes, calle 60, number 2658. Please also sign up to her WhatsApp. She will send you the menu for the day and also what she's planning on cooking. Her style of cooking includes local cuisine and also craft artisan type of different types of foods. She is an English speaker, she has lived in the United States, and she will be more than happy to greet you and show you what our traditional cuisine looks like. This is directly from my family and directly from my kitchen. This is us putting together a mango salad, and what we're doing here is we are putting black pepper inside lemon juice with a dash of honey, and this is basically the final product. Once again, we're in the city of Cartagena at a nice restaurant. My girlfriend is with her best friend's family celebrating because she is about to get married within a few days from the moment this was filmed. Chicha, a fruity corn drink from the Andes Mountains. Exotic fruit salads. Ice cream sundaes. Passion fruit cheesecakes. Stewed beef with rice and plantains and soup. The infamous sancocho with ají sauce. Coconut lemonade. Delicious burgers with juicy beef patties. Coconut rice with Black Sierra fish from the Caribbean.
Mírame este boca chico sin espinas, flow escabeche. El lugar se llama La Paila y estamos ubicados en el segundo piso de San Andresito del Río en la ciudad de Barranquilla. Venden unas limonadas de coco que son las chachas. Básicamente es un boca chico frito sudado, así le llaman en la ciudad. Y lo mejor del cuento es que no tiene ni una espina. ¡Qué vaina linda! Fácilmente con este pescadón pueden comer hasta 2 personas. La limonada de coco desde mi punto de vista estuvo bien sabrosa. Aparte le echan un toque de canela que le da un plus bien bacán. Y por la derecha, mírame al Tulio dándole viaje. También venden unas canasticas de plátano con camarones que ya te digo. El ambiente de este lugar es bien sabroso con un toque bien caribeño. Ve mencionando a ese amigo que le encanta el pescado en cualquier presentación. Yo sé que te gustó el video, no olvides darle like, compartir y comentar y seguirme en todas mis redes sociales como Bayopar Recomienda para que la pases bacano.
Andrew Zimmern, when he came to the country of Colombia and he stopped in Cartagena, he was given shredded coconut with caramelized sugar. And you know what he said? The last time that he saw that was on the west coast of Africa. So why is this important, you say? Because the 3 main pillars of Colombian society are, number 1, Africa and its heritage towards us. Number 2, Europe. And number 3, the indigenous communities. Please feel free to follow my friend La Nativa, aka The Native. She's a famous influencer from the south part of Colombia, from the Inga tribe. She is an anthropologist, a conservationist, political activist, and pharmacy student. Unfortunately, the Pacific Coast doesn't get too much action from tourists who come to Colombia. But I would like to begin with there, and then I will expand deeper into the country. Looking northwest in the department of Chocó, the Baudó mountain range is formed. It is a very rich region in timber and minerals, hydrography, economy, and natural parks. The rivers are mighty. Let me list them. The Mira, Patia, and Baudó rivers, the Atrato and the San Juan. Humpback whales come to visit us every year on its beaches. They come to fall in love. The port of Buenaventura, Colombia's main port, is located in this region of unparalleled beauty. The Pacific coast of Colombia is home to the most eclectic group of mixture of people they have ever seen, home to the Afro-Colombian heritage, and also home to a lot of indigenous peoples. Examples of Pacific-style food are encocado de pescado camarones, encocado de jaiba cangrejo, or guiso de piangua. The dish that is pictured in this video is encocado de pescado and camarones, which is basically fish and shrimp and covered in coconut sauce. Please visit my ColombianRecipes.com for more recipes on Colombian foods. It is both in Spanish and in English.
Óyeme, si es que de la cruz, escúchame, un rico encocado, óyeme, con el río maduro.
One very popular drink in the Pacific coast is an alcoholic beverage called viche. Viche, like its more popular cousin, aguardiente, is made out of sugarcane. The difference is it uses different flavors and different seasonings and different ingredients. It also comes in its creamy form. It is very strong, and you can also find it in the San Petronio Festival, where people share African cultural music and food.
Platos típicos que hacen del Pacífico patrimonio gastronómico colombiano. Hoy desde la Casa de la Comida Típica queremos resaltar 3 platos que hacen parte de nuestra identidad histórica: ceviche de camarones, bagre y una experiencia cargada de historias, tradiciones y costumbres de la región que año a año nos pone a gozar del Festival de Música del Pacífico más importante de Colombia, el Petronio Álvarez.
¿Que por qué grito tanto por las tardes? ¿Que por qué hago esa bulla?
Y es que si vos sos amante a los sabores de esta región, tenés una cita en nuestra casa.
Lo que pasa es que soy de Timbiquí.
We have piangua. Piangua is basically black oysters, and the black oysters can either be sauteed, as you can see in this presentation right here. It can also be made in the form of a guiso, which is a type of stew, or in cocao, which is coconut milk. So many people are keen about eating stuff like, you know, cow lungs and fish eyeballs and all that kind of crazy stuff, because I don't eat crazy things like sea urchin and slugs and snails and all that kind of stuff. Point out that people tend to close their minds off to something different or something new, especially when you're in a country and you just don't know, you know, you just become nervous and you stick with what you know, burgers and, you know, hot dogs. But we do have our version of Colombian hot dogs and burgers that I would say compete with the United States or even be better. Okay, everyone, and next on our list is the city of Cali. And I would like to remind everyone that even though Cali is the capital of the Cauca Valley, which goes out to the Pacific coast, we are not considered Pacific people. We're actually considered Andes people. We're considered from the Andes region. The valley sits between 2 different cordilleras, which are 2 mountain ranges, which separates us from the Pacific coast. In the past 40 years, because of the civil war against communist insurgents, many people have fled and have come to the city of Cali, giving us that extra Pacific touch.
Y me he venido hasta la ciudad de Cali, hasta la Galería Alameda, a probar los nuevos platos de Basilia, mi maestra Basilia. Imagínense ustedes eso: sancochito de pescado, sancocho, arrocito y el chicharrón más grande que ustedes se puedan imaginar. Se llama Donde Basilia. Miren esto.
Basilia es un restaurante tradicional que queda dentro de la Plaza Galería Alameda. Preparamos comida criolla y comida del Pacífico. Ya tenemos como la lengua, la sobrebarriga en salsa, arroz marinero, cazuela, sancoche de pescado.
Miren este arrocito con camarones endiablados. Cómo amo tu trabajo, cómo amo tu cocina, no lo puedo creer. Tremendo restaurante y tremenda comida la de Basilia. Pues vamos a grabarle video y vamos a mostrárselo al mundo entero. Que comiencen los juegos del sabor.
Next is the tamal bayuno, not to be confused with the tamal tolimense. Tamal bayuno uses cornstarch and also uses ogao, which gives it its color and flavoring, while tamal tolimense has rice with a different color. Baudo soup. The fiambre found all over the Andean region, with stuffed potatoes and papa rajada. This one is a hot oxtail. This is another version of chicken sudado, some type of Arabic dish. The valley version of sancocho. Doña Basilia's restaurant comes highly recommended and has been in operation for 37 years. She is a legend. Her restaurant is a landmark that everybody goes to. I would suggest try her all the different types of seafood casserole that she has. She also does cook food from the valley, as you can see right here that I'm posting right now. I would definitely recommend going. The 15,000 Colombian pesos is about $3.77. You cannot beat those prices. 20,000 COP is about $5 US for alcoholic beverages. This is the address right here on the screen. It is located in Valle del Cauca. It is in the Alameda Market. A lot of tourists like to go there in groups because not only get to try the food, but also the different types of exotic fruits. Okay guys, so we come up to the last part of the video. This is the part 1 of my video series about Colombian food and my response to YouTubers who say the Colombian food is not good. I want to give a shout out and a thank you to the Instagrammers and the foodie YouTubers and everybody else who helped make this possible. Daniela, muchísimas gracias por ayudarme. Gracias por ayudarme en esta colaboración. Everyone, please follow Daniela Foodie in Cali. She's an Instagram foodie who loves food culture in Colombia just as much as I do. If you're ever in the city of Cali, she's the best one to look for. John Matias, this is for his restaurant. He has Don Matias, which is located in Sunrise, Florida, and also in northern Miami. He's been a very good friend of mine. He is the cook and the owner. He's been around for a good 7 to 8 years. He has built a name for himself. It is very recommendable that you visit his restaurant. Sabor en la mesa, gracias a los dos por también a compartir conmigo los videos tuyos, porque sin ti nada de eso es posible. Gracias por ayudarme a mostrar nuestra comida a la gente del exterior y a la gente del interior de Colombia. Valledupar recomienda, muchísimas gracias, tus videos son muy chéveres, hermano, muchísimas gracias de nuevo. A mí me encanta mucho la gente de la costa, me gusta mucho su cultura, me gusta su forma de presentación, ojalá que podamos hacer una colaboración en el futuro y muchísimas gracias a todos. Doña Basilia y Tulio recomienda, muchísimas gracias. Ustedes fueron básicamente la estrella de este video, especialmente sobre la comida bayuna y la comida pacífica. Doña Basilia, yo te conocí una vez hace como 2 años. Yo sé que pronto no me acuerdo de la gente que pasa, pero ojalá que esto te pueda ayudar, pueda expandir tu negocio y gracias por ayudarme a promocionar nuestra cultura al mundo. If you made it this far and you liked what you see, please hit the like button and subscribe for more future videos. Once again, this is Rey Condor signing out.